Hey, what's up, everybody? So I'm closing out my bulking cycle. So the last 3 months, I was trying to really put on more size. And during that time, I really didn't focus on going too heavy. I didn't focus on performance. I was just having fun with lifting, having fun doing CrossFit sessions. And the nutrition also played a role into focusing on kind of eating more, being a lot more relaxed and laid back with, you know, eating rules, I would say. I was still very meat based and probably ate a good amount of rice through it, a lot of fruit. That was typically the diet. And then on the weekends, I would probably eat whatever I want, go out with the family, have more cheat meals or junk. I probably drank way too much throughout the last 3 months. So summertime's coming, need a different focus, need something else to test. So perfect time to kind of transition into the next phase. So I was trying to put on functional size, and I'm happy with the progress that I got. I feel like I addressed a lot of imbalances in my posture mechanics, identified a lot more issues throughout the process. So I'm using this next cycle to really hone in and fix those from a application standpoint. So movements I like to do, I want to fix the imbalances that I found. So the functional sizes, I got thicker. Definitely when you put on muscle, I put on a little bit of more fat, but for being 38 years old, I feel pretty good at where my body's at and what it can still do. I still do the CrossFit classes. I do our barbell classes here, so twice a week pretty much, lifting, and then also jiu-jitsu, or more so I'd call it just a lot of rounds of rolling on Fridays. So that's kind of been the things that I've been doing for exercise, and then that's how I got my body to that condition or shape or aesthetic, whatever you like to call it. So one thing I did want to talk about is what's coming up next. So I always run these tests, have these new concepts. It's nice that I'm documenting now, so when I look back, I know what the hell I was doing at that point in time. So this time around, I was focusing on trying to do more FixFit Jack stuff, which will be the primary objective. What that means is turning bodybuilding into a functional movement. So if you take it, for example, if I just did a bicep curl, right? If I fire not just my bicep, but anchor my shoulder down with my pec, my lat, my obliques, my glutes, then that bicep curl becomes more functional. That bicep curl is a full body workout. The bicep curl can help me identify some imbalances I have. If I can't fire my left lat during this curl, that's going to show up when I do a pull-up rowing. So there's a lot of those benefits from a FixFit Jack standpoint. And I'm going to continue to really hone in on that as my main focus for training. So even in CrossFit workouts or weightlifting movements, I'm going to really focus on applying that FixFit Jack mindset to all things that I do, because I want to build and lean up. So my diet's going to change a little bit too. Less carbs, definitely less drinking, limit drinking for sure, less processed sugars, things like that. So the idea is to really hone in and do a lot of FixFit Jacked exercises, and I'm going to open it up to people, have people join me as usual for this test. But the kicker this time around, what I'm realizing is what's missing in terms of the application when we're trying to improve our performance or to address or fix an issue is the focus on power, right? Everyone does weight training or strength training, bicep curls, bench, back squat, deadlifts. But how much mechanical expertise, or let's say a mechanical experience, do we have in explosive movements? If you think about it, those are things that are important to us when we move quickly, when we have to produce a lot of power. So any hobby you do, right? Like running, it's an explosive movement, I call it that, or more dynamic. Jiu-jitsu for me, Olympic weightlifting, even doing like a kip. If you think about it, a lot of the injuries happen on more dynamic or explosive movements, right? Even if we were to, just go run and chase someone down, or someone's chasing us, that's a sprint. Those are the things that usually cause us to break down more because it's so much demand on the body. So not only are we able to just perform those basic strength movements, like can I lift a case of water slowly so I don't hurt my back? I feel like what we've been working towards, a lot of those, the FixFit concepts, the way we train mechanics and strength, it is important and that needs to be done first. It's like we're taking this next step into calculus, right? Where we have to learn how to just simply add and subtract, divide, multiply, right? So this is why I'm testing this next step. So I want to build a solid body where I lean up and be as optimal as I can, right? So the FixFit Jack, so functional bodybuilding. But then I do not want to lose any athleticism, power. And so my focus will be on functional bodybuilding and continuing to build my power output. So I want to be as explosive as I can, mechanically sound, which I don't think I've ever thought of doing, which I don't know why, but I think this gives us the biggest, progress in what we're always trying to achieve. So the idea is I want to be more explosive for everything, whether I want to push a sled, Olympic lift. If you think about it, being powerful should be the end goal because that's what you need to do for function or life. Let's say I needed to defend myself or to wrestle a bear, which I know I'm not in the wild, but you get the idea. If I needed to do something very explosive, get in a fight, do a clean and jerk, those are explosive movements. No one ever talks about the mechanics of how you're supposed to do that. Well, hell, no one talks about the mechanics of how you're supposed to do traditional strength training movements, bodybuilding exercises, or no one's really talking about the mechanics of daily life stuff, like how I'm sitting, how we walk. So the idea is to take this concept one step further for application. And that's really kind of my soapbox or pet peeve is if someone's trying to help you fix an injury or issue, right, or to improve your performance, if the application is not factored in, how does this apply to X? Walking, running, jumping, swimming, whatever sport you play, then that is the main problem. So using that mindset where I constantly kind of complain or soapbox rant about why people are selling programs or buy this mobility tool or buy my program to fix your knees by just squatting ass to grass or walk backwards or whatever they're selling, how the hell does this apply to what I like to do? How does this apply to fixing my knee pain for running? How does this help fix my lower back for deadlifting? They don't explain that. They just provide exercises or tools or treatments to fix the pain. So kind of diving deeper into the rabbit hole of movement for myself, it's figuring out and assessing the body, rebuilding it from inside out pretty much. That's what we have been doing. But now that I have rebuilt and got thick functionally, what am I going to do with this body now? I'm going to apply it to explosive movements because I want to be more fortified and reinforced for things like jiu-jitsu, sprinting, Olympic lifting, kipping. The list goes on and on. So that's where I'm going to next. So you can follow the journey. I'll continue to post more about that stuff. I'll also continue to post, kind of like the basics of FixFit as well. But that's where I'm going. I'm going to try to learn how to, jump, land, violent hip extensions for whatever movements like a kettlebell swing, a throw, violent pushes or pulls where it's more about speed and power. There's like a time component, right? Where I could really push violently instead of just a static bench press. Where it's a lot slower. I wouldn't say it's static, but you know what I mean. So things like that. I want to be as compact, balanced, build as much functional muscle, lean out, and then try to really hone in and figure out the mechanics of explosive movements. Why? Because I'm working with more sport athletes, wrestlers, golfers, CrossFitters, jiu-jitsu, list goes on and on. But the idea is all those sport movements, at a certain point, most of the injuries or the performance that happens is explosive, even for rowing, right? So the idea is I need more data, I need more testing. And so, like anything else, question everything, question everyone, question everyone's treatment, question everyone's program, question my concepts. The only way to really know, to turn that info into knowledge and then into wisdom, is that you have to test it out for yourself. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go test drive this concept. And for the next, I don't know, probably the rest of the summer, I'm gonna do functional bodybuilding, aka FixFit Jack for us, and then dive deep into the rabbit hole of the mechanics for explosive movements. All right, so if you guys have questions, I'm not great at making videos, or that's not my goal. I'm not here to monetize. I'll never make it because it's not about releasing a ton of videos. I usually just connect with people more on a one-on-one or messages. So if you guys have questions or comments, message me. I respond to those things. Videos will just come here and there as the demand is there. So if you guys have issues or injuries, then I can make a video or send it to you. And again, if you guys are interested with these concepts or want to follow along, hit me up and let's see how we can walk this journey together.